Hey y'all, I'm back, honey. I'm back for us to talk about Traitors, episode 7. So it's time for the black banquet. We're gonna go and get right on into it, all right? Candiace is worried about Lisa. Y'all know Lisa is the one that's supposed to be wearing the amulet today. She's supposed to get somebody to touch it. That person will be murdered, okay? She doesn't know how Lisa is going to be pulling any of this off, but she gonna have to. So Lisa comes down the stairs in this plain outfit. It was cute, don't get me wrong, but it was very plain, and she had the amulet on it. And I'm just like, this amulet don't match nothing you got on. Like, it just doesn't fit. And then she come downstairs being all extra. You look beautiful. You look great. You look amazing. You look this. It was just giving extra, read all about it. It was a whole lot that was going on. Now, Lisa really wants to murder Colton, but she knows if she does that, then it's going to be too obvious and she may end up being up out of here. But they're going to do what they want to do anyway because they're just how they is. Ain't no escaping it. Now, she almost goes for Jam as he was all up in her face and complimenting her, and he was about to touch that amulet, it seems. But Kristen walks up. Now, Kristen walks up, and I think at some point Natalie could have came up. So now at this point, you got Lisa really thinking about her options. Like, I could go for Jam, Kristen, Natalie. I got options here. Who is going to be the easier target to get? Now, she pretends that the amulet is stabbing her or sticking her or something, and that is how she's able to get one of the three to touch it. Now, originally, we weren't able to see exactly who touched the brooch or the amulet, and I was kind of like, why didn't we get to see who did it? Are y'all, as producers, choosing who you want to eliminate? How does that work? Well, we do end up seeing it at a later time, all right? Everybody's getting ready to get something to eat. They get their food. They all sit down. They're all reminiscing, reflecting, talking about the experience, how it's been great for them, how they all feel that they are there for a particular reason. And it doesn't last long, okay? It does not last long because Alan comes out.
I loved everything about that.
Oh, God, why?
Now, before Alan comes out in the confessional, Rob was wondering also, was Lisa able to commit the crime? He says that, I'm kind of glad that I don't know for sure, because if this ever comes up again, I am able to deny knowing anything about it, right? So that's what Rob is thinking. Let me tell y'all, a lot of people got on Rob's arse, honey. And as much as I may not be in support of all of his moves, Rob, who has to also play the game for himself and not others in a sense, he's not doing that bad of a job to me. I think he's doing a really good job. It may suck, right? If you have your faves on the show that you don't want to see go out like that. But that man playing that game, okay? I'm sorry. He playing that game. He playing it so well to where I'm like, okay, for your game, that makes sense. But he's also playing it so well from the standpoint of, I can't stand you, right? As a viewer. So it is what it is, okay? So Alan interrupts them for dinner, and he decides to let them know about the legend of the Black Dinner. With the king that invited the clan over to the castle, he lured them under false pretenses and ended up, poisoning them. He said, I fear that history is repeating itself with you guys because the traitors have cursed one of y'all. But, no fear. No fear. Because hope is still here. Lisa and Candiace looking at each other like, what the hell is he talking about? Because I know like hell, okay? Lisa's like, I know I didn't go through all of that for you to save a life. That's crazy. So the guards come out with the antidote, and he pretty much tells them, listen, when it comes to this antidote, one of y'all was cursed. If y'all find out who the person was that was cursed and that person takes this antidote, they will be saved tonight. But if you don't take the antidote, you're going to be clapped up out of here, okay? It's going to be time to go, period, okay? Now, if you are the person that takes the antidote and you weren't the person that's cursed, then hey, you just took it for no reason. And I didn't really like that. I wish she would have tried something different. I wish it would have been 2 different antidotes in my personal. And I wish one of them would have been poisonous and one of them would not have been poisonous, right? And if you believe that you may be cursed and you take the right one, then you're saved, right? If you believe that you were cursed and you weren't cursed and you take the poison one, then you still gone. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do? I wish it would have been 2 people leaving at night. And the way Natalie was standing up there, oh, I want to take it. I want to take it. Can I take it? Can I take it? Me, let me take it. Let me take it. Can I take it? I wish she would have got the one that was poison. I'm not even going to hold y'all, right? I wish they kind of would have pulled a page out of the Millionaire Show on Netflix. I wish they would have pulled a little page out of there where you kind of write down the person whose name you think should take it. And if one, or you write down those 2 people's names, and whichever one takes the poison, then they go on, and whichever one doesn't take the poison, then they stay here. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about that. So everybody is having to dispute about who is going to take these potions. We only have 2. So they're all trying to figure it out, who's going to be the person to be saved tonight, or who is the person that thinks that their life is being threatened and they should take it. Yam immediately whispers to Bart about Lisa kissing him. Why he didn't say this to everybody, I don't know, to save your own ass. I don't know, but shoulder shrugs to you. Lisa asked who would serve something. And she's trying to keep the conversation on who would serve something to keep the conversation off the fact that she wore that amulet and the fact that Jam touched her. So she wants them to keep thinking that it's about a drink or some food or somebody served you something. Like, yeah, keep on with that thought. So Natalie brings up her eating food and would like to take the drink and would like to take the antidote if nobody else had, ate anything or was served anything. Like, I want to take it. So Tara says, well, wait a minute. I was served something, by Dorinda. And then Mark says it's not food though. Like, y'all keep talking about that, but it's not food. Y'all paranoid. Like, we all eating and damn near drinking the same thing. Like, what is you talking about? Okay. And it's like, well, yeah, Mark, true. But if it was food, it's about who served who what. So if you were served that particular slice, then it could have been you. Either way, Stephen was confronted about the cards that were on the table of the Traitors and how somebody ended up pulling, I believe it was Kristen's name or something. And Stephen said everybody did that. That doesn't mean anything. Everybody's done that. So Candiace says, I think that Tara should be able to take the drink. Johnny said, I think Kristen should take it. I think Kristen should take it, right? Natalie is like, well, I know I should take it. I should take it. Why Kristen over me? And it's like, BITCH, it's 2 potions up there. And why you over Kristen? Why should you take it over Kristen? Why Kristen over me? Why you over Kristen? I'm sorry, y'all. I do not care. I am not here for Miss Natalie. I'm not here for Natalie at all. I saw a little clip of her with Tiffany, and I already was a little shaky with Miss Natalie.
And he and I know what it feels like to win a reality TV show where you feel it's like this.
It feels
rush.
amazing.
It feels amazing. It's this crazy rush, and we're chasing that feeling. So anything but that feeling sucks.
And even if Tiffany, she didn't want her season of Big Brother, but she literally was like the cookout, like one of the most
I did
iconic.
want America's favorite player.
Which,
yeah, that's
honestly,
right.
that might be even more.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
breakout star.
No, it doesn't count more than winning. Sorry.
No, actually it does, because on my show, it only takes 9 votes to win the season, but it takes the majority of America's votes to win.
But the feeling
America's
of winning
favorite
is better
player.
than winning America's favorite.
The feeling of winning the money, but the feeling of winning the hearts, you wouldn't know.
Well, speaking of winning
I won the hearts on my second season of Survivor, honey. I watched my season of Survivor, and then you try and come for me.
I watched your season, and they still love me.
Oh my goodness. Well,
all right, let's get the voting.
Exactly.
Me versus Tiffany.
We're ready.
I'm
Get
ready
those
for the
things out.
votes. Let's do this out.
So I'm excited for the reunion.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Tiffany and Natalie went over to the virtual reality sit down, and Natalie threw some unnecessary shade. I was like, yeah, y'all can go and take her out of the game immediately because you got so much of the big head. Like, your head just too big for me. Like, you trying to downplay Tiffany's role in the reality TV world because you won on your show or whatever the case is. And it's like, girl, calm down. And it was so weird with how she mentioned it because it was just awkward. It was just awkward. I just wasn't featuring her. But all in all, she really irked my nerves at this table. I want to take it, but I want to take it. Can I take it? And she's like, why Kristen over me? And then Colton says she's not a traitor. She's like, I'm not a traitor either. And it's like, Colton, how you know? How you know? How you so confident and you know exactly who and who is not a traitor? I have an idea, and I'll tell y'all that later in the review when we get to that part. So Natalie says, I'm also not a traitor or whatever. I said, Natalie is getting on my everlasting. Okay? I was sitting up there feeling like Kristen, girl, take this shit then. Take it. Take it. If you want it so bad and you keep hollering about it, girl, just fucking take it. Damn. We sick of you. And then when it was time to go get it, because, Tara wanted to take it too, they go get it. Kristen said, I'm not going to fight over that. Let them take it. I don't do that. I said, I know that's right. I don't play like that. Period. I said, go ahead, Miss Kristen. Let them fight over it. But somehow Kristen sat in her spot, unbothered for the most part, and still got their potion. I'll tell you that. Okay? So Natalie and Tara over there holding on to the damn antidote, holding on to the potion. They holding on to it. Natalie says, but I want to drink it. I really, really want to drink it. So Maura says, well, if you really want to drink it, then fucking drink it. I said, I know that's right. I said, and Maura, you know you get on my nerves. You know you can bother me too, girl. But I was with you on that. Like, girl, just drink it then. Damn, we tired of hearing you whine. Just drink it. Ugh. I'll be gunning for her ass for sure. She will have to go. But anywho, Natalie got on my nerves. She ended up taking the potion. It was what it was, okay? It's time to find out who was cursed. Come to find out, it was neither one of the ladies on this side of the table. Child ended up being damn Jam. Jam was already looking nervous, but I don't care about Jam being eliminated because why, when it was time to find out who was cursed, you're looking over to the person to the left of you and you're like, oh my God, I'm really nervous, yada, yada, yada. But not one time did you say out loud, you believe that you could have been cursed. You was over there real spooked, real scared. doing all of the theatrics and the dramatics in a sense, but you didn't match the theatrics of Natalie? If you felt so afraid that Lisa was the one that kissed you and likely poisoned you or something. So that's why I didn't feel no ways about him being eliminated, because you didn't even stick up for yourself. Anywho, then he talks about how Lisa kissed him on the cheek, whatever the case is, once he got eliminated. And housewives don't kiss you on the cheek, and Lisa kissed me on my cheek. Like, housewives don't do that, and leaves out. Lisa, your fake ass reaction to the news was enough for me to banish your ass, because it just didn't make any sense.
She did.
Kissed him on the cheek.
What? I did not. Sorry, I don't get that. You can.
Who, me? Huh? I don't know. What? What? Like, girl, get her out of here. Pack her up then. Lisa says she decided on Jam Jam because it was an easy choice, and she did it all by herself and got no help from nobody. Plus, Rob sat up there and turned on her, so it is what it is. She says she doesn't know if she'll ever get over this moment, but she says she's gonna keep trying. That's what she says. Now it's time for breakfast, and of course the traitors are the first ones in the room: Candiace, Lisa, and Rob. So they discussed the murder that took place last night, and that's how we get to see just how Jam Jam got murdered and how he actually touched the amulet. Now, the game plan for the day. Candiace says her game plan for the day is to diffuse the drama, the conversations around Miss Lisa, right? Rob says he's going to sit back and just let people talk until he needs to, I guess, say something. Lisa said, wait, baby, you're going to have to do more than just sit back, honey. I said, I know that's right. But at the same time, Lisa, I do feel like Rob don't owe you nothing. And as much as it pains me to say, I don't feel like he's going to owe Candiace anything either. Right? I understand when you become a traitor that there is this unannounced loyalty because you all are traitors, but I feel like the same thing could go for faithfuls and the whole game. You know, at some point everybody's gonna be a traitor to somebody. So Lisa feels like Rob is after her now and he needs to cut the SHI. I said, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. She said, yeah, you after me now, so you don't cut it out. And so Rob says, you know, I've been very verbal about Ron and not being a traitor. Plus, I'm close with Colton. So, you know, I didn't really want to mess my game up, is pretty much what he was saying. He was like, I also didn't think that you were going to get eliminated. And Candiace was like, boy, she was like 1 vote off. You knew what you was doing. And that's why I'm like, if y'all know that he knew what he was doing, why are we even entertaining him now? I personally feel like y'all two use too much of the time trying to make sure Rob is on the same page with the traitors instead of y'all two concocting your plan to pack his ass up out of here. And that's why some part of me is like, if you get kicked out, shoulder shrug. Y'all didn't fight hard enough. Like I felt Jam Jam didn't. I feel like in this game, it shouldn't take the way that y'all, in my opinion, I'm talking about everybody on the cast, Candiace included, as much as I love her. But listen, y'all will take the smallest things and hold it against a person and put them on the chopping block. Rob did enough at that damn round table for y'all to start setting his ass up and planting seeds in the coming days to get his ass banished. Okay. And y'all didn't do that because y'all still over here thinking and trying to be loyal. The moment Rob showed a bit of disloyalty, y'all should have been off with his head right there a long time ago. A long time ago. Colton wouldn't be able to plant those seeds. And like y'all been seeing Colton hanging with Rob this whole time. This whole time. Like I would have been started shaking some shit. Would have been started shaking the shit up. So Candiace says this entire game is about relationships. And this is the most important relationship. And that's your problem. It is, yes, because y'all are traitors. But this is why I feel like Rob has done a fairly good job thus far. Regardless of how anybody feels. These are my thoughts, right? I hate who he has alliances with, but he already understood that those ladies that were traitors were going to be loyal to him anyway. So he has that somewhat on lock. Now my goal is to play it up as a faithful to everybody else in their face and build an alliance, which therefore builds trust. So even if they were to find out that I was a traitor, they may try to do what Colton has tried to do with Lisa, which is come up with some type of partnership. But all in all, I feel like Rob is not playing the game totally wrong to me. He has an alliance on the traitor side because obviously he's with the traitors, but then let me build one up on the outside. And in my personal, I feel like Rob has more than one alliance. Yes, I think he has an alliance with Colton and that group, but I also think he got a separate one with Maura and whoever Maura may be connected to. So yeah, if the game is about relationships, Rob has been building those outside relationships with other folks. And of course, it helps him being a handsome Caucasian guy that damn near everybody in the house got a crush on. He used it to his advantage. Okay? It is what it is. Anywho, And because he's not a jerk as much as Colton, he's able to fly under the radar. So he was able to finesse y'all, and it is what it is. So Lisa says, well, I just want you guys to know that I did everything all by myself last night. And now I'm just going to ask you guys to, like, really just help me out. And I'm kind of like, girl, they don't owe you shit. They don't owe you nothing. She wants them to speak up for her. And I'm like, Candiace, please don't. Don't let this loyalty thing, like, don't do that. Okay, speak up enough, but not a whole damn lot. Don't be the first one to speak. Do like Maura, just a little bit. The BIT that don't never bring conversations up to the front, for real, but will co-sign what others are saying. The only time I seen Maura try to bring something to the front was last week's episode when I think she highlighted something about Natalie. When Natalie had said at the cabin, like, you're gonna get banished tonight if you such and such. That was the only thing she really said on her own. But I feel like everything else she's been running behind other folks. That's why I'm glad Dorinda clocked the shit out of her by the end of the episode. Hello? Anywho, let's keep it going. Can I highlight the fact that at breakfast, to me, and maybe it's not that big or that deep, but to me, I'm like, y'all should already know that Rob not close with y'all like that. When you look at the seating, instead of him seating 1, 2, 3, Rob said 1, 2, skip 4.
Come in.
That to me shows that there is a distance between y'all and him. I don't know. I feel like it's more than just, you are girls, I'm a guy. Like, nah. Just seeing that seating placement for me was enough to let me know, like, he is y'all's op. He's y'all's op, period. I don't know why y'all not catching on to that, but anyway, girl. So Dorinda, Eric, and Mark come in the room, and then Eric brings up Natalie doing too much, and Lisa agrees and says, she drunk that potion or whatever with no problem. Candiace says the air kiss was the smoking gun, though, and it's like, Candiace, please. Candiace, please. Yes, I am one of the people that don't want Candiace to say shit. I am. That's me. I don't want her to open her damn mouth. Okay? Even though, that's who she is. But you ain't got to, don't stick your neck out for Lisa. So Maura walks in with Steven and Colton. They speak on Jam and him not speaking up until he got, cursed and kicked out. Colton says Jam thought it was weird because Lisa gave him a kiss. And Lisa says, no, I didn't. I gave him an air kiss like I did everybody else. But I know that you got a bone, okay? You're a dog with a bone, so I know you're not going to drop it. And Colton's like, who, me? I'm a dog. Ain't that's what I said? I said you're a dog with a bone. He was like, but I didn't dog you out. Jam did. Yikes. Yikes. Colton is now saying, I really don't want none of this attention on me. I'm really trying to scoot to the back and lay low. I really, really don't. I'm just going to let y'all have it. And that's where I feel Colton and Rob have had a conversation. This episode for me, I felt like, because they are so much as besties, this is the most that I have ever seen Rob talk in a entire episode, which leads me to believe, of course, like, even if they would not have told us that they had an alliance, I would have definitely believed that they did, based on how Rob has been taking the lead this episode and allowing Colton to sit back and coast. All right. And there's more I'm gonna say a little later. So Tara, Kristen, and Natalie, they walked in. Tara starts to apologize to Dorinda for putting her out there. Natalie apologizes to Steven for what she did, and she says she kind of strong-armed the antidote. Yes, you did, bitch. Yes, you did. You was gonna keep whining until they let you take it, all because you wanted to be safe. Right? And I get it, you wanted to be safe, but others at the table wanted to be safe too, and ain't nobody act like you acted. And honestly, Jam should have been acting like you acted. Anywho, after breakfast, Colton tells everyone that he wanted 2 people he knew who were faithfuls for sure, right? He was like, I wanted 2 people for sure that I knew that were faithfuls, but, to take the potions. But when it came to Jam, he was a bit sketchy for me. He was on my sketch list. And again, why is no one else picking up on these clues and the things that he says? Y'all read into so much that other people say and do, but y'all not going to read into that. How does he know? This is the second time we've heard him in one episode talk about how he knows somebody's a faithful. I know they're faithful. She is because Kristen's faithful, right? I wanted 2 people that I knew were faithful. It's like, how you know this? How you know? Ain't nobody picking up on that? Oh, okay, I guess. So Candiace is now looking at Natalie, right? She said she felt like Natalie was aggressively trying to keep it from a faithful. That's another way to look at it, right? Read into those signs like y'all have been reading into everything else. So Kristen asked, is she considering anything that Jam said about Lisa? And Candiace says, yeah, but I feel stronger about Natalie. And that's when Colton kind of looked at her like, oh, brother, like, damn. Come on, Candiace, damn. I can't say that he really looked at Candiace as if Candiace was a traitor at that time. But at that time, I think he was just like, damn, I'm trying to get as many votes as I possibly can because I want Lisa out the house. Okay? Now, Natalie and Tara are talking, and Tara felt like Natalie was so into not letting her drink it that she started to think that you were keeping it from a faithful and therefore you were a traitor. And Natalie says, well, if that was the case, then I'd be exposing myself if that was the case, right? But Tara doesn't seem to be convinced. She's still like, I don't know, BRT. I'm still watching you. Verdict's still out. Now, Lisa enters the room because she want to hear Natalie explain herself as well. And that's when Natalie slips up and says, we murdered one, banished. Lisa's like, oh, yes, thank you, Jesus. I will be using that a little later. I'll be using that a little later, girl. Don't you worry. So Mark, Steven, Rob, and Maura, right? They're all chatting. And Steven says Natalie's behavior does give off traitor. And Maura asks, well, then what about Jam and his comments on Lisa? So Rob says he doesn't want to get murdered. So we should really, just have this conversation right here between us. But whenever you have two different people telling two different sides or two versions of a story, then somebody's lying. And I'm like, duh. Why you acting like you saying something so profound in this moment? Duh, if you got two people that are giving us two different stories, we know there's her truth, and then the truth. Like, what you talking about? You ain't telling us. So, anywho, I did say, I hope that this is some type of foreshadowing for you, Rob. I hope that is a foreshadowing for you. Whenever there are two people that have a different version of a story, somebody's lying. And I hope that that whole comment was foreshadowing for yourself. Let's keep going. So the look that Rob and Maura gave each other after this was said lets me know, boom, they in an alliance. Of course, we already know Maura got like a crush on Rob or whatever. But I'm like, outside of him being clicked up with Colton and that crew, he also got something over here with Maura as well. Because it was just the looks at each other. I was like, okay. Because then also, we talk about Natalie Maura. Why the hell are you bringing up Jam right now? What are your thoughts on that, on Natalie real quick before you bring up Jam? But I guess, either way, that's how I was feeling. Now, we already know that Maura has an alliance with Steven because the last time she was approached by Steven, she says, no, she was approached by Johnny asking about Steven. She says, oh, Steven will vote for sure. Like, he's with us. I know for sure he's with us. That's why I feel like she has a connection to Steven. And I feel like Steven, by way of Maura, has that connection with Rob. But I also wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if Steven has that connection to Rob by way of Colton them. Because I already told you, I feel like Colton, Eric, Rob, Natalie for sure are in an alliance. Those are the faithful Power Rangers for sure. But I also feel like Steven is in that number as well. Even though it appears like Colton is going to be going after Steven, I'm like, you always start off the episode saying you're going to go after somebody and then be switching up. So you could just never tell with him. But yeah. So anywho, it's time for the mission. And Lisa exposes to Mark and Dorinda what Natalie said when they were in the car. So everybody is taking this in like, okay, Lisa trying to plant her seeds now, right? They get out there to the mission and Alan gives them instructions about running up the hill to get to the monument. They have about 30 minutes to reach the summit. They have to, I think he gives them bags that has gold in it, but they have to collect gold on their way. And all of that gold they have to put into a box. They will all make $25K that'll be added to the pot. But in addition to getting that $25K, the 6 people that have the most gold in their boxes will pretty much, I guess, go up and be on the run-in to receive the dagger. Okay, the dagger will give you vote control in a sense because it'll allow you to have 2 votes at the round table. Okay, so I guess your vote will count twice, right? So, yeah, that's how all of that works. Okay, now Rob, when he's out there, because he's really clicked up with Colton, he says that he wants the dagger bad because the power being in the wrong hands is gonna be a problem for him. So he wants that power. And he tells Colton that, all right? He says, I don't want no dumb ass to have it that's gonna give some votes to Lisa. So I don't know what Rob's issue is with Lisa, but it's like you're taking on the energy of Colton and putting all that energy towards Lisa. And that's what's also making it a bit confusing, right? Because they only got a few more weeks. So I'm not really surprised that Lisa is getting out. I probably would have expected him to give her at least 1 more week, but it's the aggression of how he's trying to get her out. And I'm just like, what did she do to you that you are just so driven and focused on getting her out? And it's really crazy, I have to say, that you hold Colton in a much higher regard than you hold Lisa, who's your fellow traitor. But you've made another alliance, so I guess, and also maybe because he sees how Colton has the whole house in the palm of his hands versus what Lisa has. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I guess the whole thing is to get the scent up off of him. But okay. So Colton tells Rob, listen, I don't know if I could sway enough people to vote for Lisa when everybody's trying to put Natalie up. So I'm going to need you to try to convince Maura. And Rob said, you ain't got to worry about that because I already got Maura. So as everybody gets up the hill, the final 6 people that had all the gold or most of the gold in their box was Rob, Colton, Mark, Steven, Natalie, and Eric. Of course, Rob had the most. So Rob had a bigger advantage than others. Now, what I noticed was Colton be watching Lisa like a fucking hawk. And I just cannot. Like, oh my God, why is she putting that in that bag? Why is she putting it in Steven's? Why did Steven take the gold from her? I don't know. Why the fuck did you give Rob some of your gold? Like, what? Now, yes, you are on to Lisa. You are really on to Lisa. But I feel like you're not on to Lisa because of her actions. I feel like you're on to Lisa because someone told you that she was for sure a traitor. And I do believe that person was Rob. I really do. I really believe that Rob told Colton that Lisa for sure is a damn traitor. But follow me. Let's finish this up. So it's time to pretty much decide on who's going to get the dagger. Like I said, Rob had the advantage, okay? At the end of the damn game, I'm not going to go into all of that. What we can say is Rob ended up getting full control from Natalie, who ended up having the dagger, okay? So now he's happy. He has the power in his hands as far as being able to put in 2 votes at the round table. He can use it whenever he wants. He has from now up until the next 4 round tables to use it whenever he wants, okay? So he pretty much tells everybody else once they get back to the house, like, hey, let's just go ahead and make a pact. I don't want nobody to say nothing. I don't want no target on my back. I ain't trying to be murdered or anything like that. So how about we don't tell nobody? Let's just keep it between us. And the fact that everybody just blindly trusted him is another great moment for Rob. I know we may not like how he moving, but it's another great thing for Rob that these people believe him so much. Like, y'all believe, like, he's not giving y'all any indicator that he's a damn traitor. And they rocking with it. Okay, keep rocking. So Candiace gives Lisa a heads up and let her know Johnny on to you. But I'm going to tell you right now, Tara, she don't believe it's you. And I'm trying to ride off that wave. But I just want to give you a heads up and let you know who's on your head top. So Lisa lets everyone, okay, Johnny, Maura, Kristen, know what Natalie said. So she's in that room. She's telling them, you know, like, listen, old girl sat up there. She said the murder comment, right? When we murdered, and then she tried to clean it up. Okay, so they held on to it, and Maura over there like, oh my God, did she really say that, huh? She acting all surprised, like, can y'all kick Maura off? Maura don't be over there doing SHI for real. Huh? Anyway, so anywho, I was feeling like the fact that Lisa would mention what Natalie said kind of made me feel like, you know, this could kind of work against you. And then it could not, right? I feel like it could work against you because every person that sat up there and slipped up and pretty much said, oh, you know, we murdered, we this and that, all y'all turned out to be wrong. Because those people ended up being faithfuls. So some of the people may be thinking like that. Whenever we use that against somebody, they ended up not being a traitor. So that could work against her. And, you know. So when Steven gets back, he walks in a room with Lisa and the rest of the cast. And so they start asking him who got the dagger. And he says, oh, well, we made a pact. And I'm like, damn, I don't think that you should have told them y'all made a pact. Because Rob did say, don't tell them who got the dagger, but he didn't say don't tell them that we made a pact. So now to know that y'all made a pact about not sharing the dagger, other people may start thinking that y'all have a bigger and a deeper pact than what it really is. And therefore, when they start paying attention to how y'all voted these round tables, they may start trying to pick y'all ass off. So I do hope that this very conversation Steven had about them making a pact comes back to bite Eric, Colton, Natalie, and Rob in their ass in some fashion. Okay, just a little bit. Now, Johnny tells him that they are voting for Natalie, but we need 7 to control the vote. I said, Johnny, can you stop? Stop saying we need this to control the vote, because every time you tell somebody what y'all need to control the vote, it never works out. Now, when Colton goes to manipulate people, he never says we need 7 people, 6 people, 5 people to control the vote. He just goes in and sways them. So stop telling people we need this many to control the vote, because every time you run this by Steven never votes how y'all want Steven to vote. Okay, it's just that simple. Now, Steven tells Rob about everyone voting for Natalie. And Rob says Candiace is cooking up a storm to defend Lisa. I said, he not lying. He not lying. She is. Now it's time for the round table, okay? So it's time to talk. Lisa calls out Natalie for the murder comment, and Tara confirms that she heard it as well, but she said it was a struggle for her because she was kind of taken aback. Like, did I really hear that? Like, oh my God. But like, yeah, girl, you did hear it. I mean, at once upon a time in the kitchen, she tried to act like, I mean, was I there? Did I hear it? Yeah, you were there. I don't know what your reaction was, but you was there. So Natalie tells her, I don't think you care about faithfuls at all. You just don't want to go home. Right? And I'm sitting over here like, Lisa, you're not quick enough. Because I would have fired back at her as I said, and clearly you're not ready to go home either, traitor. The way that you was over there dousing down that damn potion to keep everybody else from taking it, you should have like leaned into that. Lisa, your reactions alone, you never have a comeback for anything really. And your reactions makes me feel like you should be banished. Because you just never have anything to say but, no, I did not. No, I did not. Who? What? No, I did not. Like, girl, go ahead. Colton brings up Jam and asks why he went for Lisa so aggressively. Lisa said, I don't know exactly, because you don't. You never know. You never know. Okay. So Candiace speaks up and she has Lisa's back. And I said, Candiace, please shut up. Please shut up. Maura says, Lisa did kiss Jam. And Dorinda said, wait a minute, baby. I was there, honey. And she air kissed me. She air kissed you. She air kissed Candiace. So why would she turn around and kiss him when she air kissed all of us? You know what I find interesting? And Maura tried to talk, and Lisa didn't get, not Lisa, but Dorinda didn't give a damn. She said, you know what I find interesting is we never hear a motherfucking word from you, girl. We never hear anything from your ass until it's time for others to put in a vote or say something. Then you want to jump on a damn bandwagon. Be very clear. I said, girl, you better call her out. Because the way Maura ass has been skating on this show, for real. Yeah. So Rob decides that he was going to speak up. And when I tell y'all, this is the most talking that I have ever seen Rob do at a damn round table. All I could think was, why is he doing Colton's bidding? I cannot stand it. Of course, he defends Natalie. Then he says, I have a question. As faithfuls, I said, y'all not going to catch this? Nobody's going to catch it. Every time Rob talks, he has to say as faithfuls. Why are y'all not catching that? As faithfuls. No other faithful says as faithfuls. Is it not clocking in for y'all? Pay attention to so much stuff. Y'all scrutinize the cast for so much, okay? Y'all scrutinize y'all fellow faithfuls for things they say. Their personality isn't as big as you expected it to be. All of this stuff, but y'all not paying attention that every time this man talks and tries to convince y'all of something, he be saying some as faithfuls. Okay, keep playing on they top, Rob, because that's great. They deserve to get played. Keep playing. So he then goes on to ask Lisa, why every time we ask you something, you don't have no reaction or answer? Your answer always really be, I don't know. I said, ooh, baby. Clock her, Rob, because I was just thinking the same thing. Like, you never have a comeback. Like, ever. So Rob, I personally feel now, because I was like, what is this issue you got with Lisa? What is this vendetta? Like, why are you doing Colton's bidding? Like, what is happening? And after this, when he says, why do you never have an answer? The answer is always, I don't know. I said, you know what? Rob is punishing Lisa for not playing the game as good as he plays it. And it may not make sense, but that's literally how I feel. He is punishing her because she's not playing the game half as good as him. I think her name precedes her, but then getting to know her and see her in this atmosphere, it's like, you're just not doing as good as I expected you to do or something. On top of him doing Colton's bidding. So anywho, it's time to vote, right? Rob did not use the dagger. He decided he's going to save it for a later time when somebody's coming for him, and rightfully so. Sucks, but rightfully so. Everyone, and then he already know how to vote finna go. So why would I use the dagger? I wouldn't use it either. Hate to say it. So everybody gives their votes, right? But the one time that had me gagged was when Candiace decided to give her throwaway vote for Rob. Baby, I hollered.
So I have a throwaway vote. So I voted for Rob.
I absolutely loved it. Do you hear me? Candiace got on that neck and she said, two could play that game. I could get there if you want to. Two could play that game. Baby, Rob was shook.
Sorry, dude.
I said, that's what you do. Because even if you are eliminated, Candiace, you still put a bug out there for people to consider. And that's how you do that. If Jam can do it when he get his ass up and put that little bug out there, do that. I think that's kind of what Colton was trying to do too. Didn't Colton sit up there and say, I'll give my all or whatever. I'll take us both down if it means getting you out of here. Okay, then. Well, Candiace on the same shit. I'll take us both down then. How about that? Since you want to act like that, let's get like that. Let's get like that. If everybody else can do it, I can do it too, right? Since you want to play those games, let's play those games, honey.
The bad bitch that is Candiace is ready to play a motherfucking game.
So Lisa is voted out, and she lets everyone know that she is an iconic, legendary traitor. Okay, so Lisa is eliminated. Now, Eric says he feels so vindicated.
I feel so vindicated! Oh my God, no!
Except for you ain't. Like, you not vindicated. Why the hell would you feel vindicated? You wasn't pushing Lisa's name to the front. That really was Colton and Eric, and that really was Colton and Rob. You weren't, what? Vindicated for what? You still the man with the magic ears. I'm confused on what you've done. Shut up, Eric. So Rob says,
Candiace, you're gonna write my name down as a hint to everybody here that I'm a fucking traitor? Oh my gosh, girl. Why would you do that?
I holla. I thought that was so funny. And it's like, but you literally wrote down Lisa's name and got your fellow traitor banished, and you think that Candiace is supposed to be loyal to you? How can you sit up here and betray people and not expect Candiace to betray you too? Cut it out, boy. So Candiace says Rob betrayed the people that have helped him. Now, meanwhile, Colton feels good that he took down a traitor as if he did it all by himself. Talking about stuff. I took down a traitor. Not by yourself, you didn't. Like, what's up with y'all? What's up with y'all? What's up with these eyes? What's up with this vindication? Huh? So Colton is now getting in the ear of Johnny. And what I love is the fact that it was not working. He's trying to tell Johnny that he got his eyes on Steven now, all because Steven was connected to damn, what's her name, Lisa. And I'm like, but y'all all got an alliance, in my opinion. So why are you mentioning Steven's name? And let's be very clear, you love starting out with one name, and then by the time we get to the round table, you switch it up. So you're not to be trusted. And I love the fact that Johnny is not taking his foot off your neck and still believe that you are a traitor. Now, this is another thing that I caught. Colton and Rob were in the kitchen. You could tell that Maura just came into that kitchen, right? And so when she came in, because I think Maura went in, she probably fixed her a drink, and it looked like Colton was already in there talking to Rob, cutting on some bread or something. So when she stepped closer to Colton, that's when Colton asked her, did you pay any attention to Candiace? Well, she kept moving the conversation off of Lisa. Did you pay attention to that? And as he's talking to her, he glances at Rob. And I said, oh yeah, these motherfuckers have already had a conversation. And at this point for me, I thoroughly believe that Colton knows that Rob is a traitor. I'm sorry. I really believe that. It may be some things that's going to show up in coming episodes for my mind to change, right? But at this moment on this episode, I feel like Colton knows that Rob is a traitor. For Rob to be your bestie in this game, I feel like Colton knows that Rob is a traitor. And if Candiace is gone by next week, I would not be surprised if Rob probably told that to Colton. But what I believe for a fact that Colton knows Rob is a traitor. He may not know Candiace is one yet, or he might. And I feel like Colton learned that Lisa was a traitor because Rob gave him the hint that she was. I do believe that. Because, you're just not as vibrant. You're not giving this much. You're not this and that. And I feel like that's not enough. That's not enough to indicate that somebody's a traitor. So for me, I think that Colton has known this whole time. And now the looks that these two give each other are just completely different. And another thing that makes me feel like Colton knows that Rob is a traitor and learned about Lisa through Rob is how he approached Lisa, and they were willing to show us that on camera. The whole sit down of, hey, I'm going to try to get her to work with me for the rest of this game, yada, yada, right? So him trying to get her to work with him makes me think that that's the same play that you had with Rob. You know that he's a traitor, and therefore you two are going to have each other's back all the way likely to the end, or as close to the end as you could possibly get it. That's what it sounds like to me. And y'all could try to change my mind, but as of right now, I'm stuck on that. And yeah, I think he knows Rob is a traitor, just like he knew about Lisa because he found out from Rob. Anywho, Rob then says to one of them, like, do you believe that it could possibly be all housewives in the turret? So now what I think Rob is setting up a play for is for Dorinda or Candiace. Because one, I know he didn't like how Dorinda went at Maura and how that's making Maura look. Because one, Ron has brought Maura's name up before. Two, Dorinda said, I find it real interesting that you never say anything until somebody else says something. You piggyback off of it, right? So I feel like, and the fact that Dorinda and Candiace were the main ones speaking up for Lisa, I feel like Rob will try to play it up as though only housewives are in the turret. So if Candiace does not go next week, it will be Dorinda is what I'm thinking. And then Candiace may be following that, IDK. But I think he's going to be gunning for those two. Absolutely. But y'all got to leave your thoughts down below. Okay. Y'all got to let me know. Rob says he would have been happy to win this game with Candiace, but he doesn't see them working together anymore. And it's like, first of all, you never saw that, Snake. You never saw y'all working together, because if you did, you would have tried to make some type of pact with her outside of just being a damn traitor. You never assured her that while I'm stabbing Lisa in the back, I still have your back. You are not to be trusted, so you were never trying to work with her from the beginning. And anybody that's working with Colton, you're op anyway. So Johnny's now talking to Candiace about Rob, but he's like, I don't trust Rob no more. I feel like Rob, he with Colton a little too much. Something about it's not making sense. I saw that he repeated the entire speech that Colton had at the damn table. So something about it is off. And how else would they know this person is a traitor and be so sure about it unless they're traitors themselves? So Candiace is leaning into that and she's hyping that up. But I really wish they would learn to stop talking to Maura just a little bit. Because Maura gonna run back and tell Rob. Rob gonna run back and tell damn Colton. I also feel like if y'all talk to Steven gonna run it to Maura, then Maura gonna run it to Rob, then Rob gonna run it to Colton. Like, I don't know. But y'all little alliance, I feel, is getting a little smaller. It's getting a little smaller. Okay, so who I see being the final few is everybody that aligns themselves with Colton and Rob. But I don't really see Johnny. Maybe Kristen, doubt it, Tara, Candiace. I mean, we'll see how it's going to play out. We only got a few more weeks of the show, but we'll see how it's going to play out. And also, can I say this too, Johnny? Johnny, every time you approach people with an idea of who you believe the people are and who, you know, is a traitor or whatever the case is, and none of your things ever pan out when it's time to get to the round table. So I do feel like you trying to get out Colton or Rob will be a complete damn chop. It will be a complete chop. Now, I will not be 100% mad if Rob goes on to win this entire game, because that would mean to me that at some point he has to play out Colton's ass to get there. So I wouldn't be mad at that. I do not want to see Natalie win a dime. I don't care. Would love to see Candiace win, but I'm not sure because I don't think she has enough people that have her back in the house. But yeah, any people that I don't want to see win anything would be Colton, Natalie, and Eric. In all honesty, okay? But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the overall review. You guys leave your thoughts and comments down below on how you felt about the latest episode, because let me tell you, that latest episode was good. They was good. And I have to say, I know some of us are mad at Rob. I may not have liked some of Rob's choices and how he has moved, but I think he's playing a good game for his particular game. And I am enjoying Miss Candiace too. And I love that she said the bad bitch that is Candiace, she's ready to play, okay? I know that's right, girl. Get out there and get ready to get into some things with him. Get in the mud before you go. Wear him out as much as you can before you go. But leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'm Jamie, that's me. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Selling my preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a practice. Cashed out at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL. Got them trying to clone me like ages. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man? They say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasted film. I can feel the pool.